Roleplay Retcon does not own any part of the movies we retcon, nor are we associated with the artists who make them. Also, while most episodes are safe for all listeners, please do check the individual episode descriptions for any content warnings.
The soundtrack for this series features Behold. You can find him anywhere you get music online or on most social media as Behold Your Fate.
Hey everyone, hey!
Welcome to Roleplay Retcon, the podcast that remakes the movies that lets you down. I'm Benjamin Gray, he, him. You can call me Ben.
I'm Gen C, they, them.
And I'm Alex, he and him.
We're the core cast of Roleplay Retcon. That means we're pretty much always here. And we also usually have a guest. And we've brought in Henn, a mech expert.
A mechspert.
To remake Pacific Rim Uprising, the sequel to Pacific Rim. He's going to be our guest GM for this series, which we'll get to in a second. But first, say hi, Henn, and tell us what's up.
Hi, Henn, and tell us what's up. That bit, I'm sure, doesn't get old. Hi, my name is Henn. I use he, they pronouns, but really any are fine. I am also usually referred to as I write robots on the internet. You might know me under that moniker. I do. I write robots. Who would have thought, you know? I'm a science fiction writer. I do a lot of short fiction, and I also have a web novel series called Interface. Other than that, I'm just an all-around tabletop RPG enthusiast. I do a lot of tabletop RPG design within the space. I do both the design for tabletop RPGs as well as like ancillary fun stuff for various games you might probably already know and enjoy. And I like to demo them both online and at various local conventions, things like that. So, big on the robots, big on the board games. So that's, I guess, my credentials why I'm here.
Henn's going to give me links to all that stuff he just talked about, and we're going to put it in the episode description.
I'll start reading the hyperlinks right now. HTTP. Are you ready?
Thank you.
//
Okay, hold on. I don't have my pen.
I can give you the IP address, rather, if you would like a true robot expert. No, I will begin to read it in binary.
So Pacific Rim Uprising. It's got a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was technically a box office disappointment is the words used, which I think is code for it didn't make as much money as they wanted it to, but it did turn some profit. And by the way, big disclaimer here, you, the audience, do not have to watch this movie to enjoy this podcast, though we have been told it can enhance the experience. We watch it before or after listening to our version. However, this is one of our rare sequels, so it might be good if you've at least seen Pacific Rim 1. I bet that you'll be able to follow along just fine, but we're going to spoil Pacific Rim 1.
Please do yourself a favor and watch it. You owe it to yourself. It takes place this year.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about both movies. Let's talk about Pacific Rim 1 and 2.
I'm so equipped to do that, let me tell you. I have seen Pacific Rim 1 16 times and counting. I rewatch it pretty annually.
That's a lot.
Very good film. My friends and I at one point would stand on the couch and recite the "We are canceling the apocalypse" speech from the climax of the movie. Good times.
Wow.
Good times. Yeah.
Nice.
Pacific Rim's a really good film. It's a Guillermo del Toro film, first of all, so jot that down. Obviously, very renowned filmmaker. It's fundamentally a film about humanistic determinism and, the triumph of mankind. It's very much so a film about overcoming natural disaster.
And I think it's a movie about big robots.
You're right. I've completely overshot. You're absolutely correct. Fundamentally, it is a movie about giant robots punching big ass monsters in the face, and it rocks so hard. It is an incredible film. I'll keep going.
But what did you think about the second one, though, Henn?
Rebuttal.
I'm here with Alex with the rebuttal.
What if it
Alex
was
and I
just
are
okay?
Yeah, what if it was just okay? I'm
Well, then
so
you'd be
sorry.
wrong, but that's okay.
I'm so sorry. It's not bad. But
it is not a film. What I normally tell people is it is not a film that you watch for, cutting commentaries and brilliant screenplay and writing. You watch it because there's a big ass robot and it's really cool and it punches that thing several times.
Some of the robots are pretty cool. I have to agree.
there's some very unique designs that don't get enough screen time, but that's also neither here nor there.
So how does Pacific Rim Uprising?
Uprising is...
Jesse, have you seen the first one?
I didn't see the first one. I only watched the second one.
Wow.
Sorry.
Doing it in
That's
reverse.
What a
interesting.
weird way to do that, Jesse.
Because we're doing the second one for the show. So, I only have a finite amount of time.
Okay. That's okay.
But I did learn a lot about the first one. And particularly, I learned that Idris Elba was in it. And so now I feel like I got robbed because I didn't watch it. So I'm definitely going to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
It's quite good. It's quite good.
But like when he held up, because I didn't know anything about the first one. And so when John Boyega's character like holds up the picture with him and his dad, I was like, whoa, his dad is Idris Elba? Like,
Grab
what?
his knuckles?
Dang.
Your dad is knuckled.
Which is so funny
So
because,
yeah, I'm going to go.
like, the John Boyega character is not mentioned at all in the first movie.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Because he
this guy
that's
just
interesting.
sucks.
So this is a good segue. Pacific Rim 2, something very important you need to understand. It's a 2018 film by Steven DeKnight is the director's name.
Steven DeKnight.
It is not... I keep calling him
The
Kevin on
worst
accident.
DeKnight.
That's why I had to specify, because the name sounds similar to me. Kevin DeKnight, different person. It is not a Guillermo del Toro film. The first movie is pretty cut and dry. It resolves itself very cleanly. It wraps up its loose ends, albeit fine. It's not the best wrap up in the world, but it's very cool. It closes all of those plot roads. So the second film has to jump backwards through a lot of hoops to justify there being a second film because the problem has been solved.
Yeah.
This results in a lot of don't ask where those characters are. They're off screen doing very important things and they can't be bothered right now. Don't ask where our main character from the first movie is. Don't ask where Raleigh is. Don't ask, et cetera, et cetera. There are characters that are invented that weren't relevant for the first film. They've got to reinvent the issue because the kaiju was a solved problem in the first film. So what are we fighting now? It takes place 10 years later, 2035, and is the aftermath of the post-kaiju war world, wherein the plot revolves pretty heavily around what do we do with all these kick-ass robots we've built now that we don't really have anything to do with all these kick-ass robots we've built.
Yeah.
That's a hard question to answer.
It is. I remember watching this on my couch with Ben when I watched it the first time, and
That's
just
me.
calling out like, "Oh, this is what they're going to do with this plot point." And it would go on screen, and it would be very funny.
I'll give it that. Like, I was not picking up the things that Alex was picking up.
So to your credit, the second film, Uprising, has a lot of moments where you say they telegraph something and you're like, oh, okay, so they're going to go do that thing now. That's the next logical thing to do. And then it cuts to something completely different that would not be the next logical thing to do. And you're like, oh.
I do have a question and spoilers for people who haven't watched the second movie and plan to. What happens to Charlie Day's character at the end of that movie? Does he die?
Nah, they capture him. They capture him.
He is alive,
Okay.
yeah, because he ends in a like prison facility, basically shouting like, "Oh, you'll get yours, you stupid humans," sort of thing. And then John Boyega shows up to be like, "Guess what? You aliens, we're coming to you." And then it was never elaborated on, so don't worry about that. And
Was it because there was? I found out 1 hour ago, 60 minutes ago, that there was an animated series, apparently.
Oh, that doesn't even... Don't... Pacific Rim the Black should not be touched.
Oh, okay. It's great or it's...
It's bad.
Oh, okay.
There is a character simply referred to as Boy for the entirety of the series.
That's what I call my son.
The first season, that's what I call my son. That's you and Kratos both.
Well, that was the
That's
joke.
specifically why.
Oh, I understand. My apologies.
Boy.
The first season, which is the only season it got, ends with the line, and I quote, "The kaiju messiah has come." End of series.
Well, that sounds great, though. I'm sorry, out of context. Maybe the lead up to it kind of ruins it, but
it's pretty bad. It's heavily implied that Boy is the first ever human kaiju hybrid in the vein of like Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh, he was an angel the whole time, sort of thing, and then it was never elaborated on. The first 5 episodes are just like acquiring a Jaeger in the slowest possible way.
So if we've completely lost the audience by now, if they are in the weeds, like we're throwing all of this in the trash, right? And then you may pick some things out of that trash if you feel like it, but they don't worry, right? Don't worry, audience.
Yeah. I would like to think that our version will probably make a lot more sense. The second movie does away with a lot of the continuity of the first movie that made the first movie good. People love the concept of drift compatibility. It is iconic.
Not people. Not inclusive all people. There's one person right here.
Those people are wrong. It is romantic as all hell. It is beautiful. And the second movie establishes in the first 30 minutes that it's not really necessary anymore, and then goes back immediately afterward to it being necessary again.
Yep.
So anyway, you'll be happy to know it's one of the things we're doing away with.
I probably should have watched the first one, to be honest, because they were talking about like brain handshakes or something.
Neural handshakes.
Yeah. And then she was training with a brain in a jar and doing a handshake with it. And I was like, I probably should have watched the first one to understand any of
missing some sort of key element.
But, I picked up on it. I got there. It took me there. I got it.
I would really love to know what you thought of the movie, like in that vacuum, like having not watched the first movie. How entertaining was that movie for you, Jency?
So I'm going to be honest. This was not nearly even a little bit one of the worst movies I've seen for this podcast. Like not even in
it's not like a terrible film, right?
It wasn't.
Just kind of all over the place.
Like it was fine. Like it was kind of corny. It was kind of cheesy, which is fine. Like it's the kind of thing that I was totally expecting out of a movie that looks like this, if I'm being honest. Like I was like, this is going to be a cheesy, corny movie, and it's fine. And like, it wasn't confusing to me. Like I picked up on the stuff that was going on. The dialogue wasn't that great, but it wasn't terrible. The action was kind of mid, but it wasn't bad. Like no part of this movie was like, I hate this movie. But the whole time I was just like,
It feels like
it's
a
fine.
45% on Rotten Tomatoes, right? It feels like a middling movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like a bottom feeder, but it was fine.
I think it's pretty indicative of the pattern we see time and time again of a film that does well or creates a unique concept immediately begats a natural Hollywood instinct of how can we milk this for more content, of a cheaper and easier to produce variety, right?
Save your time, probably, audience. Probably don't
just listen to this podcast instead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Stephen DeKnight, but my version is going to be so much better.
I'm excited about that. I did like the cute little baby robot. I thought she was so cute. Like when that woman like hijacked it.
Xiao, yeah.
The boss lady. I don't remember her name.
Corporation leader, yeah.
Yes. And she's just like running toward them with her tiny little legs, like holding the big missile thingy. I was like, this is cute. I like this. This is adorable. And she got up to it and she was so little.
Yeah. Its hand is also cute. An excavator shovel. So what more can you want?
Is she supposed to be translated in that movie? Because the version that me and Ben got, she was not translated.
Subtitles? Oh.
It didn't
I didn't get subtitles either.
So like we had no idea what she was saying ever.
I'm wondering now if the version I watched had subtitles. Fun bonus lore for you. I speak Chinese. And so
that's actually not surprising at all.
I lived in China. My gripe with a lot of the film is that she says stuff that like is easy to translate, and then they choose not to translate it in favor of just like some very clearly like written for an action movie line. And it's like, she just said no, but you made it into like, absolutely not, you imbecile, or whatever. And it's like, all right, come on now.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what she was saying, but it was fine. Like I was okay with that. Like I could pick up what was going on.
Some of the times Charlie Day would like.
I was going to say, would it translate when Charlie Day was trying to?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's weird.
It was so weird.
Yeah. So what we do here is we remake these movies using TTRPGs, tabletop role-playing games. And this time, we're remaking it using a crunchy mech RPG called Lancer. You do not have to be super familiar with Lancer to follow along. Everyone except Henn is pretty new to it. In the world. But if
everyone in the world
except for Henn. Yep. But if you do want to learn about it in a fun way, you can actually see Henn walk us through making characters and mechs and running a little combat on our Patreon for free. Not everything on the Patreon is free, but that is.
It was a great time.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was pretty funny, right? Mm-hmm. I think so.
Because we blew up robots, like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, that was cool.
I did. I blew up a robot.
You blew up a robot. We're proud of you.
You did. You sure did. Yeah, before we did it, like, I hear things like crunchy and I don't remember the other qualifiers that you used to describe it, but I was just like a little bit intimidated. Hard. I was like, oh, I'm a little bit scared. And then we created the characters with Henn, and he walked us through it, and it was nice. It was fun.
So we're not going to go over Lancer a whole lot here because that video exists, and you can also see how it works as we go along in this series. But I think we should introduce some characters and maybe just like talk about our mechs a little bit. I think that might be fun.
Yeah. A couple of things that I think are important to know about Lancer. It is produced by Massive Press and Tom Bloom by association. Definitely go check it out. You might know Tom Bloom from other works like Kill 6 Billion Demons, very popular online. Just kind of a prolific person in the tabletop RPG space. He kind of has an addiction for making tabletop RPGs, and I think they just spew out of him incidentally. But Lancer is kind of his piece de resistance. It's a really, really well designed and thought out tabletop RPG. If you like what everyone else is saying, the very crunchy rule systems, it's got a lot of rules. It's got a lot of vocabulary to it. It's a very tactics based, and it's definitely there's Alex holding up the rule book, which is about as thick as a
so big.
I can't think of a good analog. I was going to say a child's hand, but it's not really great.
Like a really thick book. It's like a really thick book.
Go. Robot
like
Bible.
A thick book.
It is a game very heavy on tactics and resource management, though the resource management half of things is going to be a little less important for our game just because we're focusing more on a sort of cinematic storytelling angle. But there are a lot of rules. And when you make a character in Lancer, you kind of make two characters. You make a pilot called your Lancer, and you make your mech, which is also kind of important. You progress through the levels and you get access to new equipment and new abilities. What they're called frames are the types of mech robots that you can kind of learn to build pieces of to integrate into your own mech and level up as you go. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about our pilot characters here. Pilots all have the same kind of basic elements to them. You guys will have a number of, think of them like skills. They're called triggers. They're just a little phrase that you can pull on whenever something relevant happens. We've got some good ones. You guys want to share some of your triggers for your characters?
Let's go ahead and just like introduce characters. Ben, introduce your character.
Oh, am I going first? Why do I have to go first?
Because I said so.
Because your name. That's why.
Okay. Well, I'm Bon Joyega. Bon is actually a pretty common name in Australia, which is where he's from. I'm Bon Joyega. And Bon was born and spent the first few years of his life in Townsville, Australia, which is a real place. Look it up.
It's where the Powerpuff Girls are from.
That's right. Until it was demolished by a kaiju attack. Both he and his parents were some of the only survivors. And so they moved toward the middle of the country to Alice Springs, sure that the kaiju attacks wouldn't come so far inland. Bon's parents didn't survive the 1 in a million chance destruction of Alice Springs caused by a kaiju's artillery-like attacks. Surviving both attacks deeply changed Bon. He shows almost no signs of stress or anxiety and is in a seemingly near constant state of relaxation.
What's your background?
I put 2-time survivor.
There you go.
What's your call sign?
It's Lariat.
Lariat. Nice. Very good. Very good.
That's because Alex gave me that. That's actually an Alex original.
Oh.
He just told me one day, he's like, I think your call sign is Lariat. And I'm like, okay.
Well, we were coming up with call signs for our Star Wars squadrons.
And I took it. I took the gift.
What's your pilot appearance?
I usually hate doing like character appearance stuff, but I did actually do it this time. I have messy hair, heavy lidded eyes, and a slight smile. Just the chillest dude you've ever seen.
Nice.
He, him pronouns here for old Bon Joviega here.
Chansey, what's your character?
I would like to go last, Alex.
I would like to go last.
Of course you would, because you've got something up your sleeve. I don't trust you.
Like you've got a little more.
Look at that smile.
Got a little
This
more
is what
time
Alex
with
likes
your
to do.
character.
I'll go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, knowing what he's got, I really think he should go last.
Okay. All right. Yes, my character. Let me pull up my character information here just a sec. My character's name is Fire Woyega.
This is how it goes.
Wait, the plan was for you to be...
No, yes.
Okay,
that was
okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I can't remember her name, and I'm trying to find it. I always forget. It starts with an A. Amani.
Yeah,
Amara.
Her first name
Amara?
is Amara. Namani.
And her last name is Amani.
Namani with an N.
Namani.
Because she
I'm going to put it here so I remember.
Kaiju.
Is it Amara Namani? That's right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, I'm playing her, and she is actually in the movie, if you go and watch the movie. And I liked her character. I really felt like, I feel like the movie didn't do a great job of fleshing her character out. But I don't know. It was already an hour, 45 minutes. They probably could have sacrificed some other, like, stuff to flesh her character out some more. But she is an orphan. Her parents got stepped on by a giant kaiju. It was very traumatic for her. Now she has to deal with that for the rest of her life. But she's strong and she's scrappy. And she's really good at... Don't laugh at that, Ben.
But it was funny.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, she's... I've got that she is a grease monkey. She's really good at creating things and fixing things, and yeah.
What's your call sign?
My call sign? I don't know. I don't like my call sign.
What do you have it as?
What is it?
Is it still Space Cumin?
I think that's their mech.
Oh, Space Cumin was the name of my my robot.
Okay.
It's Farion, but I don't like that.
Farion?
We can workshop it. Most of the film, they just refer to her as Namani, so...
Yeah,
whatever works.
She didn't have a call sign. I didn't hear. But maybe she did, and I just didn't pick up on it.
She's not in a mech, frankly, enough to have a call sign. They'll usually just refer to her as Namani. The couple of times she is in a mech, they just call for the mech, specifically for the Striker.
Mm.
Or the Avenger, rather.
Yeah.
I'll have to think of a good call sign then.
Its name is a slur.
Its name will be the Avenger for the duration of this show.
That's a good.
Yeah,
that's a good
fine.
move, Henn.
Yeah, I heard that and I was like, bruh, when was this movie made?
Yeah, original came out in 2013, I want to say, and it was with the Danger. So, yeah, not a great predominant mech name to be championing. So it won't be for us.
What about your appearance? What'd you look like?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Don't give me that look, Henn. It's on the sheet.
It's in the film too.
Yeah, she's in the film. I'm just going with that character, man. That's my character. She's kind of shortish. She's like 12 years old. 12 years old, 13 years old.
13. Yeah.
Okay, she's 13 years old.
Another thing that probably needs to be changed for the purposes of our film.
Okay, would you like to age her up or down?
Not down.
Why?
For this film,
there's
she will
no
be 8 years
romantic
old.
stuff going on.
No. Some of the notes I had when I first pitched this, I think to you all, was that I think that pilots should probably be like minimum of 18, given the line of danger we're putting them in.
Okay, yeah, let's age her up then. You know what? There were actual teenager deaths in the movie, which wasn't great.
There were actual teenager deaths in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh no, they killed the babies.
Actual teenager death in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
She
there was
maybe
just one.
6 lines before that.
So in the movie, they specifically say that the reason the recruits are so young was because like it's easier for them to learn this like mental handshake.
Their neural
dance
plasticity
thing.
is higher. The neural handshake.
Plasticity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The neural handshake. And so I thought that we were keeping it for that reason, but we don't have to.
It's also an option. I don't have particularly strong feelings one way or the other.
Maybe that's why she struggles with it so much, is because she's older when she becomes a recruit. So she's like, man, I don't have that neural plasticity. So yeah, let's make her 19.
Neat.
Yeah, so she's a 19-year-old girl. She's got kind of medium length curly hair. Average height.
Glasses?
No glasses.
No glasses. Get them out.
Contact lenses.
Perhaps.
Robot eyes.
That's her secret.
All right, my turn.
Alex.
It is your turn.
Okay. I am playing Alex Blasius.
Wow, who's that? That's such a unique and creative
weird
name.
Nerd, I think.
Well, that's kind of a given. You're piloting a mech.
He is. His call sign is Bodkin. He's a soldier. He looks a little bit like this.
Hold on.
It's
I
off
can't
screen for me.
Can you do it again? It was off screen. Can you put it over your face?
Well, it's off screen for everyone.
I'm sure
in a podcast.
You the listener can understand what is being shown. It is just a picture of Alex.
It's just a picture of me in a Santa hat.
Is the Santa hat, is Alex Pilot wearing a Santa hat?
Yeah, a Spider-Man red and blue
Spider-Man Santa hat. That's important.
It is.
That'll come back. That'll be in the lore.
His biography. Alex grew up in the shadow of the Jaeger program. His father was a Jaeger general and his mother was a Jaeger scientist. Sadly, he wasn't old enough to enlist.
A Jägermeister, if you will.
Sadly, he wasn't old enough to enlist into the program after the kaiju threat had passed. But that won't stop him from his dream of becoming the best mech pilot the human race has ever seen.
What's his background?
Oh, nice.
That was his background. Soldier. I'm sorry.
Soldier. Okay.
I thought I said that already.
What's his description?
His appearance: eyes as blue as ice, hair as soft as a kitten, rippling muscles, and $1 million smile.
All right. Social security card number
358.
Wonderful.
But yeah. Ben, did you do your triggers?
Actually, none of us did our triggers as far as I know.
Do you want to give us a couple of them? They're not the most important. Give me a fun one that you're excited to use.
A lot of bonds are based on this, like that he's like cool all the time to the point of it being a little bit upsetting. I've got Be Cool Babies, which is calm someone who is scared, tense, angry, or otherwise intense. And I have Shrug It Off, which is if something stressful happens, you are more likely to remain unaffected. And I got a couple more too, but those will be a surprise.
I've got Assault.
Oh, great.
I've also got Lead or Inspire, Read a Situation, and Stay Cool.
Stay cool. Jency?
I've got Act Unseen or Unheard, Hack or Fix, Survive, and Word on the Street.
Sick. This is a good combination. Cool.
Yeah, I feel like my girl, she's been living by herself for like most of her life. She didn't have her parents, but she's just been surviving on her own. So she's pretty good at being sneaky and pretty good at hiding and listening to the gossip on the street. She's also really good at fixing things. And
she rocks. It's plot important. Yeah.
I like it.
I also have Read a Situation and Stay Cool. I didn't know we were going to do all of them.
There you go. The overlap doesn't matter too much. Every time we gain a level, we will either increase our bonus to one of those triggers or get a new one. And in Lancer, your triggers can be whatever they want. When I play, I tend to give myself one called Kiss That Robot. So there you go. You can make them whatever your heart desires. That one never comes up, but that's okay.
It will. One day.
I kind of want that one, though.
Hey, it can be relevant.
I want to kiss the cute little baby robots.
Always. They're all my babies.
I'm going to be honest. When I was watching this film, I was like, I would kiss that robot.
Which one? He's cute. Scrapper?
I was trying. Scrapper. Like when she was running up, I was like, look at that baby. Give her a little kissy.
Moving on slightly here, the other kind of important thing that all of your characters have is your talents. You should all have 3 talents at base. Talents in Lancer are how your pilot pilots a mech. They're the talents that your pilot will bring to whatever mech they're piloting. It doesn't matter if you've got a bunch of heavy distant artillery or a sniper rifle on your mech. If your pilot has the talents to be a close range fighter, you're going to bring that experience into your mech. So why don't we go through and each just say the talents we are rocking right now? You want to go first, Ben?
Yeah. So Bon Zoyega, he has combined arms, which lets me like basically do two weapons. Like I can do swordsies and gunsies. And one of the things lets me have is shielded blades. As long as I'm engaged, me and any allies adjacent to me count as having soft cover. Very strong. I also have Stormbringer, which is lets me do. I like literally can. I think this is suggesting I can make a actual storm happen, or no. I see. I shoot little things. Yeah. I shoot little things. It says seismic deluge, which made me think like, oh, can I actually summon a little cloud? That would be fun. No. I just I shoot stuff with a launcher and it knocks stuff over, and I can just do a lot of missiles. And then walking armory. Basically, I can carry this like ammo case that lets me change the ammo in it that has like special effects like shock stuff and
knock stuff back.
Yeah, knock stuff back.
I think the other one that you'll have at base is magnetic, which gives the arcing tag, which we can talk about when that's relevant.
Nice.
But that's what I've got.
It's a good one.
Thank you.
Who's next?
I'll go next. I like shooty things. I like shooting. So I chose Gunslinger and also Tactician. +1 accuracy on any melee attack if at least one allied character is engaged with your target. So does that mean I also get like good at melee?
That's for you specifically. Yeah, so when you attack someone that is also already being attacked by an ally, you attack them easier. It's like an opportunistic thing. They're currently engaged with your ally, right? So you'll run up and attack them as well.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Nice. So maybe one of my hands is like one of those big sword things and the other one's a gun thing. That's cool.
That's my thing.
It can be all our things. That's the beauty of giant robots.
Right, Ben, they're giant robots, man.
What's your last one?
And the other one is, of course, Grease Monkey. So I can get those repairs.
That funky monkey. My turn. I've got leader, field commander. I gain leadership dice and I can issue orders. And if y'all follow those orders, you can get like a boost to whatever you're doing.
You get a point of accuracy, yes.
Yeah. Then I've got hunter with lunge. Once per round, when I make an attack with an auxiliary melee weapon, I can fly up to 3 spaces directly toward the target before the attack. And it ignores
it doesn't let other people hit you when you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got duelist. Gain +1 accuracy when on the first melee attack I make with a main melee weapon. My mech's going to be all melee.
All swords.
All swords,
nice.
No guns.
Nice. That rocks.
Maybe I want to do all guns then. Maybe I want to get rid of my melee one.
I think you should.
We can swap things around as needed.
Yeah.
Pilots. That's kind of everything important about our pilots. Maybe we should talk a little bit about the giant kick-ass robots you're all piloting.
Should we do the mech skills?
Yeah, why don't? That's a good place to start for sure. The skills at level license, we're currently at what's called license level 0. When you start this game, you'll always start at license level 0. So everyone kind of has the same pool of stuff. Every time we level up, there's a list of numerous type of mechs across 4 different companies, which reflects pretty well into Pacific Rim, the various manufacturers that build Jaegers. And you'll have an opportunity to pick up a license of one of those mechs, which lets you use kind of their proprietary equipment sort of thing. But as it stands, we all just have kind of the base materials. So you'll all be using a frame called Everest, which has kind of the same core statistics and abilities. You'll all have the hyper spec fuel injector is what I believe it is called, which lets you take some free actions on your turn. But other than that, we should all have slightly different systems and equipment here and there if we want to go over that.
I think Alex should go first.
I'll go first. Why not?
Great idea.
Just to jump on that, my mech skills are 2 in agility.
Oh, you mean your statistics, your mech statistics. Yeah.
Your attributes.
It's just part of the pilot thing, so I figured I'd mention that first. But my mech is called the Obsidian Gamble. It's got a big sword and a big axe, and that's exactly what my guy gonna do. My primary weapon is a tactical melee weapon. My flex mount is going to be a charged blade, basically like a big dagger. And then my heavy mount is going to be a heavy melee weapon. How I'm imagining this is I've got a sword and a dagger, and on my back is a huge axe. And then my systems, I've got the custom paint job, which I can, if I take structural damage, I get to roll a d6, and on a 6, I return to 1 HP and ignore that damage, which is very useful. And
it scratches the paint.
Basically scratches the paint. Got the EVA module that lets me operate my mech in 0 to low gravity and underwater. Just seemed thematically good.
Water can be relevant.
Yeah. I got personalizations, which gives me just +2 HP, and I can consult with the GM about a slight minor modification to my mech that doesn't have any relevance on anything. Then I've got
matters to us.
The expanded compartment, which means I have space for one additional non-mech character or object the size of 1/2 of a rider in my cockpit. And then my last one, I have turret drones. Since I'm all melee, I figured I'd have something that I could just throw out there and be a little tactical with.
My mech is called Infinity Horse.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that was one of Alex's. Cool. It was one of Alex's. Hey, if you like to hear 50 pretty good mech names, you should go watch that video on Patreon where we learn how to play this game.
It was a really good time.
Nice. So I took Alex rolled a die for us, and we could take the name if we wanted, and that's what I got. I quite like it.
Infinity Horse is terrifying too. I don't want to encounter that.
What does it mean?
Yeah, right.
Is it a horse that never ends? Is it a horse that never dies?
There's a mech in base Lancer that is practically an Infinity Horse. It is kind of a horse, and it traps you in like an endless maze. It's an Infinity Horse.
Wow.
I like this.
But I also have custom paint job and expanded compartment and EVA module. But in addition to that, I have stable structure. Did you have stable structure, Alex?
No.
Okay. You gain +1 accuracy on saves to avoid prone or knockback.
Very good.
I have an ammo case, which we already talked about, that gives me my different ammo types. And manipulators. My mech has an extra set of little bitty limbs, like little bitty T-Rex arms that aren't any good for combat. But I can like interact with little bitty things. Which
let you make some tea or type on a keyboard. Yeah.
Really thinking that might have been a mistake in this setting, but we'll see.
Nah.
And what are your mech skills? What did you put those 2 points into?
Do you mean attributes?
No.
Yes, your statistics. So your pilot should have a couple of points that you put into stuff, and those points translate into how your mech does.
And it's called mech skills.
It's confusing. I believe it is called mech skills. It's confusingly named because they're pilot skill points that translate into mech skills, but they aren't like skills, you know?
I got 2 points in Hull. I wanted to be sturdy.
Did you have any weapons that stand out, or?
Yeah, what's your loadout?
What is my loadout? Brah. I have an assault rifle, a tactical melee weapon, which I guess I get to decide what that's like. I'll decide that later. I don't know yet. Probably a sword. And I have a missile rack because I wanted to shoot missiles. I thought that would be cool.
Man, can I make a suggestion, Ben?
Sure.
So instead of putting, I guess you don't want to do a sword. So like if you put your missile rack on your flex mount, you can add another missile rack to it. And you can get double missile racks.
And then whenever you take the skirmish action, you'll be able to fire your one missile rack. And if the other is on the same rack, you'll be able to fire that one as well as part of the same action.
So what should I put on my...
on your back, I would put like a heavy melee weapon, but then you won't get to do your sword and board that you were talking about with your...
Not everything needs a heavy weapon too. If you just wanted like 2 assault rifles, perfectly viable.
I will do that. I will do that now while Jency reads their
Yeah,
mech.
Why don't we go over our last mech here? Jency, what is your mech's name?
Okay. I don't know if it's stupid. It might be stupid. You'll tell me if it's stupid, right?
You're going after Infinity Horse. Like I think you're okay.
You're right. Anything. No, Infinity Horse is cool.
Infinity Horse rules.
Infinity Horse scares me, like legitimately.
Just, like Jency, this is one of the names I picked, so you're just hurting my feelings right now.
I didn't. I changed it.
Oh, okay.
It was space cumin, which is legitimately stupid. But I changed it to something that is perhaps even more stupid. Ironclad Gunsmoke.
Oh, wait, that's sick as hell. What the hell?
Is it cool?
It's pretty good. It's maybe a little long, but it's pretty good.
That's okay. It shortens really well to either Gunsmoke or Ironclad. It's great.
Ooh.
No, that's crazy.
Especially if you're going the gunslinger route, Gunsmoke, like that rocks.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, I'm going with that then. I'm sticking to it. Ironclad Gunsmoke. And yeah, what kind of things am I supposed to talk about?
Yeah, so why don't have you got any particular weapons that you want to highlight that you're going to be building around or using, or and then what are your systems?
I got the guns.
I got the
guns, baby. My main mount is a pistol. My flex mount is a thermal pistol.
Ooh, getting fancy.
And my heavy mount is an anti-material rifle, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
But so in my mech attributes, I also chose hull, and I'm starting to think that I'm like a ranged person, so why would I put it in hull? Can you tell me what the other ones?
Yeah, agility might be a good option. Agility increases how difficult it is to hit you, and it also increases how much you can move. So always a good thing. If you wanted to have more versatility in the stuff you can have equipped your systems, you could go systems, which is also fairly common if you wanted to install like targeting modules and aim assistance, things like that. But honestly, you can't go wrong with agility.
Yeah, I think we'll respec that into agility then.
It sounds like Ben is fixing to be our tank here with some pretty high structure, high hit points. Alex is also going to be a little tanky. You're going more agility though, right, Alex? Because you're going to be kind of the melee brawler type, and then Jensen's on covering fire.
Typical anime mech.
Yeah, this rocks. This is a great little team comp.
That's cool. That's cool.
While we were sitting here, I have decided I got rid of thing where that lets you have a gun and a sortie gunny. And I have I took that heavy gunner instead, and I put a heavy machine gun on my back. So I really will be the tank. I really will be the sturdy one.
Oh boy, I can't wait. That's a really great part of the Lancer system is you can always between missions stop and retool your mech, build a new one, see what you want to do.
So for my systems, I chose custom paint job and personalizations. And I chose stable structure, but I think I'm going to change that one too.
Stable structure is always good. It's definitely something to think about. The beginner systems, there are very few of them. I don't think anyone here wants a CompCon. CompCons are the in-universe Lancer name for the like AI assistant, but custom paint job is very standard. I already said custom paint job. Personalizations is the other one that's really standard. Very few of them beyond that are super. What's the term? They're all a little baseline flexible. Other ones worth highlighting are things like your smoke charges are an expended thing. You make like smoke grenade to make soft cover for everyone. Rapid burst jump jets. There we go. Got there. Lets you like fly when you move as long as you don't stay in the air on your turn. There are turrets like Alex has. Mm-hmm. There's a shield. Pretty neat.
I almost got that shield, but
for 3 whole system points, which is a bit of an investment, I'm pretty sure it's 3. You can also fly. You can just straight up have a flight system, which is pretty sick.
Almost got that one too.
I also chose the EVA module.
It's exactly what Alex was saying. It lets you navigate in water and low gravity, though the water is more relevant for our purposes. If you've seen the film, you're aware.
Does it let you summon the spear that pierced Christ's side?
Only on the moon.
Okay. All right.
Longinus.
And like Ben, I also chose the manipulators.
Sick.
So I thought they would be cute.
We can have a little robot tea party. It'll be great.
Yay.
Alex isn't inviting.
Little T-Rex tea party.
I don't want it.
Sorry, Alex.
I've decided what my personalization is going to be too. Henn, if it's okay with you, because I have to consult my robot master.
That is what I'm here for.
I would like my personalization to be a big ass scarf.
Oh, that's actually so anime. Yeah, I think that has to be it.
That's cool.
That's cool. The most jealous I've ever been.
Alex is here to pierce the heavens with his drill. And yeah.
Nice. Can I have a giant cowboy hat for my personalization?
I think you have to.
Jency, are your pistols revolver shaped?
Yes, of course.
I don't know if they technically have the loading. No.
Listen,
tag.
There's a picture in this fucking
They
book.
just look like it, just visibly.
The reliable one. There you go. There is a specific model of mech in the book that cares about having cowboy guns, and it has a giant revolver built into its chest, and every time you reload a gun manually on your turn, you get a bullet charged in your chest gun. It's pretty sick.
That sounds pretty sick. I liked the one in the movie that just has like a desktop fan built into its chest.
Yeah, it's a nuclear reactor for starters.
Okay, sorry.
But desktop fan, I didn't know that reactor, at all. It's basically the same thing, right?
Basically, right?
Yeah. At the end of the first movie, they do take a desktop fan down to the breach proper and they plug it in, which is what causes the short circuit that kills all the aliens. Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much.
And see, this is the background knowledge that I just didn't give myself. I just skipped all of this.
I don't have personalizations. I didn't do it.
You might want to take personalizations. It's bonus HP as well.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
That's just one
We've got a hat and a scarf, so we need to keep working our way down the body. Maybe you have a belt.
You know what? I'm going to get rid of expanded compartment. I think I like the idea of Bond, not liking the idea of someone else being in his mech. That he's got a weird people thing. He's got a purple zone.
Interesting.
As a personalizations. Equip personalizations. I have no idea what to do, though. I have no idea.
Big WWE belt.
Yes.
I was thinking like a gigantic duster.
Ooh, yeah.
But I don't know how that could ever be constructed. But I like robots wearing clothes. So
that's kind of what our squad's vibe is so far.
Maybe I just have a cool...
What about gloves? Gloves are cool.
See, I was going to say a cool pair of jeans.
A Jobot. Gene robot.
A claw-like claw. Maybe I'll come up with something better by episode 1.
Maybe.
I could rock some jewelry. Can I have like a big cool necklace?
like a dollar sign pendant?
Like some bling. Oh my God. You need some dang chaps. Because you're a horse girl.
Additionally, I was going to suggest that in line with Ben's character, Ben's mech could have an I love my mom tattoo on one shoulder. But maybe that's a bit morose.
Yeah, she's dead.
The other shoulder is I love my dad. It just says and my dad.
Hey, Alex, are you an orphan? Are you an orphan, Alex?
No, my parents are alive and
Alex is the only one with parents.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he actually may have some daddy issues.
I love my dad.
Doesn't mean you don't have issues.
We hug all the time.
Aw, that's really sweet.
It is. It is.
It is. What else? What else is there?
What else do horse girls have?
Dads.
Horse girls have friendship bracelets, but
oh my God.
You
need a friendship bracelet, obviously.
But that's not in line with my character, who is he's disassociates. So
that's a good character beat for us to
friends.
hit, is that we'll all make friendship bracelets for each other, and like by the end of the movie, it's like we'll all be friends.
Listen, Ben.
Yes.
Your dude is from Australia, right?
He is from Australia.
You need one of those like woven string ankle bracelets.
I'm like a surfer. I'm a surfer. Yeah. I'm actually okay with that. I like the idea of it being like woven from like
kaiju hair,
saplings or something, like manufacturing belts.
Yeah, it's like a huge one. That's like, I'm actually pretty.
Alex is cooking with kaiju hair. Hang on,
I'm pretty into that.
That's pretty good.
You could craft it with your manipulator hands.
That's right.
Oh, your little baby hands.
The mech knits in its free time.
Mm-hmm. It breaks a lot because I'm in combat, so I have to make new ones all the time. Okay, I'm into that. Let's do that. I'm a surfer guy. That informs my character. Because surfer guys can be friendly without being friends. Oh.
When your pilot locks into the mech, there's just one of those like surf ankle bracelets that is connected to a bungee cord that connects to the inside of your mech.
So if you fall out, you fall out,
yeah. So if a gnarly wave takes you out.
It's attached to my assault rifle. Well, is there anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
We hit movie, we hit game system, we hit characters, we hit
introductions.
I was going to say giant robots with weapons.
We
haven't done that quite yet.
Henn, tell us one more time where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm still Henn. I am still I Write Robots on the internet. You can find me most places at I Write Robots. If you like science fiction work, you can find some of my writing over at iwriterobots.com. The website where I write robots. Other than that, I do a lot of tabletop RPG design stuff that you can find over on my Blue Sky at I Write Robots. And then this is a bit of a curveball after all of this, but if you like Magic the Gathering of all things, I also make video essays about Magic the Gathering, specifically the robots of the show, which you can find at YouTube under the same thing, I Write Robots.
Like that was... I've seen that video because that was the video you sent us in your little audition packet.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, this is such a good video.
I'm so glad. It's kind of my one-hit wonder. I'm pretty proud of it.
Every series also has a musical guest on Roleplay Retcon that we feature. We feature the musical guest on the soundtrack. And for Pacific Rim Uprising, it's Behold. It has a slash in the middle. It's like B/hold, but you just say Behold. And we have actually commissioned an original song for this series for the first time. And we're going to kind of use it as our main theme. You probably heard it earlier, and you're probably going to hear it again here in a second.
I hope so.
The slash goes so hard with specifically Lancer with like comp/con. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, check out comp/con. Check out that website if you are interested in Lancer. That website's free pretty much. So go dabble in that and let it whet your appetite for mech combat.
I recommend
it. It is the coolest website. We haven't talked about that much, but its presentation is so good.
It probably bears.
Probably
bears mentioning. We probably should have touched on it a little bit more, but yeah, if you are interested in Lancer at all, it is literally all the resources you need. It walks you through the basic mechanics. It'll show you every single mech in the game. But if you're looking to get into the Lancer space, honestly, just giving it a Google CompCon will probably be one of the first things that pops up as a good learning resource.
It is.
Jincy's in the latest episode of Game Woven, which is another podcast on the One Shot Network, which we're also a part of. Game Woven does a lot of different games like we do, but their hook is that all the games take place in the same fantasy world, and it like fleshes out that world. And so Jincy's on a run of Kids on Drakes, which is a hack of Kids on Bikes by Lex Olden, who is also running this particular little mini-series that Jincy is on. Here's a clip.
So I feel like Wynn is really thinking and trying how we can avoid this problem here. And they have vines. They are prehensile. So I'm going to try, the door is open, right?
Yes.
So that means on the side with the, what's it called?
Hinges?
My brain has just forgotten the word.
Hinges or handle?
The hinges. Thank you. So the side with the hinges, I assume, has like a little gap?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try and get my vine through that gap and then like knock on the wall to make it like a sound outside.
Roll mischief.
Mischief? Oh, okay. It's not going to happen then, y'all.
You can always argue another stat for that if you don't think that matches.
So I think that I am trying to help us avoid a problem here.
Okay.
And I've
That's
been
fair.
really thinking about it, so I'm going to try and pitch conviction.
Oh.
Or finesse?
I'd love finesse for that one. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll see everyone for episode 1. Bye.
Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Go kiss a robot.
Bye kisses.